Hey guys, this is RuonyK95 here, and this is my brand new video here on my Sunday library vlog video. Remember when I came here last time, it was on a Saturday? This time it's my brand new video. This is the Sunday library vlog video this time. I'm gonna check some more here, because I'm gonna look for more. I'm gonna show you what we have here. This is what I usually do since last time as well. Hold on, because I don't... Here, that's... I'm gonna show you where I'm looking for some manga. You never know. Because I've always wanted to do this as well. Miracle of donating unwanted materials to library. That's right. Because I'm gonna look for this. Yeah, this is where I got my Urusei Yatsura manga there as well. If you haven't seen my previous video where I did my previous library vlog video on a Saturday, if you haven't seen it, check it out if you want as well. Like, the link will be in the description down below if you want to check out the video as well. So yeah, because this has got to my attention, though. I mean, here is where these languages books on there. There's also some Japanese manga there, or whatever you can find on here, which was available. And this is where the VCDs were, back in the summer, back in 2022. Which I remembered all as well, in case you're wondering why. Because I always save time and money. Here, that's the thing as well. I'm going to be getting some manga if I check. If not, we'll find out. So, at this library, what you see right there, you can find a CD or a DVD at this library. They're only $1 there as well. As from what I see, what I noticed I came across, let's see, Macross Plus Volume 2 DVD. I already have it on DVD, so I might as well pass on that, because you don't need to buy the same copy of that DVD. Like, you own every DVD you own as well, because you're thinking, you had this before, why did you buy it? Well, I already have it, so I might as well pass on that, because I'm looking for the movie condensed version as well. There were some mangas right there as well, but not only that, they were there. Right, when this cart there, it says, all books on this cart are 25 cents. Oh, not bad, huh? So there is no manga you could find here. The last time I went, I bought only like $1.25 as well. Particularly is that it turns out they may have manga. Sometimes if it's there, sometimes they don't have it. Especially if you can find one, that whenever it's available as well, particularly in this video as well. I'm going to tell you all more about it when I get back. So I just finally got back home from the library. As you see right here, there's nothing good you can find. It's just the same though. Well, you know what I mean, though. Because sometimes there's anything good you could find. Sometimes you can find something what you're looking for. Like the DVD that I showed you at the library, that was Volume 2 of Macross Plus, which I think I already have that in my anime collection. Like, let me see if I have it. Like, where is it? Hold on, because... Let me see, I have it. Oh. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I think I have it right here in my anime collection. Because this is the one that I have right here. But I saw this on the shelf of the library, and I thought, I'm just going to pass on that, because I already had this copy, by the way, because I had to figure out a way, because it's like, you had this before, why you're going to need another copy for? That's a good, proper way to avoid having the mistakes of those as well. But I was expecting, I thought it was going to be like, probably the 1998 movie edited version. But I don't have the movie version. And however, the last time I went to the library on a Saturday, there was like 3 manga books. So I had, because one was like, well, 2 of them were like 50 cents each, and one was like 25 cents each. So I had to pay like, hold on. Let's see, sorry about that. So, I paid like $1.50 or $1.25 for 3 manga books and change as well. Especially out of dimes and a quarter that I had. And I think that was a perfect way I had to save money, though, which I barely remember for that as well. And even though that this has got to my case, though, okay? I mean, I'm really surprisingly, though, and whatever it is now, of how I wanted to come across for this as well, that now I looked at this library book sale area at my library this afternoon, though. I looked at the sale for the CDs and DVDs. They were like $1 each as well, especially the ones, whether it was former library copies or ones that were donated to the library. I usually get the ones that were donated as well, accordingly. Excuse me. So, well, because I have wanted to come a reason. Yeah, because I think I have remembered a while back as well. For the most part, is that I have just wanted to know how this has gone through my head, and because I just want to figure out a way of how it's gotten to the case as well, particularly, and I still seem to remembering though as well as when I can remember that as well. However, though, you got to know for this as well, okay? I mean, I had researched it as well, and for those who are not wondering, my thing of how that's obviously way as the results for how I wanted to come across for this as well. And this how it's gotten to how what I remember, though, for the whole thing of this. I mean, yeah, that's kind of acquaintance, though, as well. You know. For for the most part, that holds up to the thing as how I wonder of how you could expect for something to do is that I have wandering that I noticed as well. There, for some reason, there was a couple of vinyl records I saw. I don't know what it was, and I thought, shoot, are, you never seen a vinyl record that was donated to the library? Ever heard of iTunes or Spotify? Or Pandora Radio? Or Last FM free internet radio? That's what I was thought to myself, which I know what you're thinking, that's why. Well, I guess you could say particularly of how I wanted to know for the fact as well, particularly of what you could know. You could hear as how you could figure out a way as well, because I have been got a lot of this. Hey, I remember going to, now being from home when you're at the library, you're not being used to couldn't find something what you were looking for. Unlike most other places out there, this how it ever learns to point over the fact of whatever you could realize for that as well. As well, particularly what you ever expect or want me to do as what I remember. Yeah, I know. Because I haven't been using Windows Movie Maker on my computer because due to the fact that my computer was old and it's for some other reasons how it crashed my computer as well, because this how I wanted to, of course, to realize over the fact as well what I remember as how I remembered of that. The same reason is that you could feel is from my own little certain perspective of how things just had to go by for how I wanted to know, is that you would figure out as well. Although I don't have a computer because I don't have a credit card, so yeah. Because that's the reason why of how I have been doing this for the own little thing of how every little thing of what you expect of going to the library on a Sunday, it's a lot more different than going to on a Saturday, which I think I remember that as well. Yeah, I know, as which I remember, but I think this is the way of how I have been garnered up things of how there were these unwanted books that I have donated, so many of them, to the library, because most of them were specific ones like sci-fi and fantasy that I never read because they were unwanted books as well. Because I take up lacks of too many space in this room, though. However, I haven't read those, but I thought this is all new because I wanted to know for that as well. What I can remember, though, as well. And there is some way of how this goes to the fact for this as well. And every time I come back home, it was raining, and well, it was hailing this afternoon, but it then it turns to rain, though. Sometimes it goes on and off and on when it's rain or shine, whatever. Because I never know it was raining. Like, every time I came back home from the library, it was raining. I forgot to get my umbrella. It should be around here somewhere. You never know. That's a good question for this as well. Yeah. It seems to know for this as well of how you wanted to realize of how when it comes to returning stuff to the library, though, is that the biggest thing is that it hasn't rubbed something the wrong way, though. But well, particularly there's a lot of things going on to the fact for this as well. And for the whole thing is that, well, that's a good reason of what I remember, though. Yeah. And I committed at once, though, particularly, and it was completely raining, and I see, like, showers of rain out there. Every time I hear something, every time I look through the windows, see the weather, and it was raining. Now, being at home, there's always used to having this as well, because, and it was from something, what I noticed on the mountains while I was on my way to the library. There was like snow on the mountains. Whenever the clouds are low on the mountains, it was snowing in the mountains, I noticed. Now, being from the city, we always get rain on here, especially on a cold day as well, which I remember as well. Well, rain is more different than snow on there. Well, that's just besides the point of what I remember, though. As a matter of fact, I've always wanted to figure out a way of this as well. And to me, though, is that, well, that's the good thing for this as well. And the good point is that I've wanted to learn something over the fact for this as well. And this is the only thing of how, what it meant to be, though, is that, is it possible, though, that it was raining and it was cold and I was about to go to the beach today, but it was a little cold and it's raining, though, but I think it's better it would be in either June or July. Well, I think it's a little better if I could go in June, though, when it's not raining, though, especially, particularly of what I got them planned for, because I'm already about to go on a trip to the beach in like 3 months, though, because that's the thing, especially whenever, well, I think I remember going to the beach once back in November or October 2019, and it was a little cloudy whenever I got back, and it was getting cold, and it was on a autumn day in the afternoon. You could see like almost sundown, and like when shifts into evenings as whatever this happens, especially whenever I got back home as well. Well, yeah, you know what I mean as well, of what I remember at all, as for the most things is of all sorts as well. And this has got to the point of this, as what I remember, though, is that, now, being from the reason of how Because I always want to look back on how, well, it's too cold and it's too foggy to go to the beach, though. Especially even in the winter, or when if it's cold as well. And you could basically know for this and other things as well. Because this, how, if it's, well, and also humid as well. Like, well, being from that, not being used to seeing fog, I mean, you cannot know what you were going, especially on the beach as well. Of what I noticed. Well, I know the fact is that I think it's better if I can go to the beach in June, which is in 3 more months, though. Yeah, because I haven't been to the beach in, like, the last time I went was, like, June 2020, which I remember now, because that's the whole point of heading to the beach, though. Especially when I'm going for a walk, when I can see the ocean and waves and all. But there's the seaside shores as well. That's my part of sightseeing things happening, especially whenever, or for that as well. Whenever I can come for this, and whenever you're going as well. Yeah, because I have wanted to figure out the fact for this as well. You know, the fact is that it's not a good idea to go on a cold day, especially when it's humid or foggy, and especially when you're going to the beach, or if it's raining or something. Because that's how I wanted to give it in the points of what I remember. I always got them planned for as well. Because I'm already about to go to the beach in about 3 months. Because, well, going on vacations, like when you're out of town, means you left town. Especially if you go on a trip to far away as well. Especially if you're out of town as well. Especially, or what state or what city as well. As far as what I know, as what I noticed. And also, probably some flea markets. I haven't been to the flea market since 2019. The last time I went was May 2019. Yeah, because being from that as well, I wonder if I could have figured out if I could go to flea market, which I haven't thought of one just yet. Well, I haven't been to flea markets yet, but I'm still figuring out a way as well of what I can remember, though. And yeah, I know. Especially when it's not raining, or if it's cloudy or sunny in either July or August. Especially if you're going to go to the flea market as well. You know what? I haven't been thought of going to the flea market, which I remember a while back. As a matter of fact, as well, when it comes to the whole point starters, whenever you're going to the flea market, which I remember, yeah, you can find a DVD or a Blu-ray for like $1 at a flea market. There's probably some bootleg anime DVDs I saw, like either if it's Chinese bootleg sets or Malaysian bootleg sets. You never know. You could find some anime there. Probably some music CDs there at a flea market too, as well. The same goes with guitars, or even Either if it's electric guitars or acoustics or bass ones or any other musical instruments you see at a flea market. And also probably some music shirts also, if you notice, that you see at a flea market. Either if it's that or you see bootleg DVDs of anime that are these Chinese bootleg sets on there as something as what you could expect to find it on sale as well. As which I remembered all as far as I know as well. Well, I haven't been to the flea market in a while. Yeah, because which I now remember of what I can do over for the fact for this as well. Especially whenever I'm giving them little point starters for this as well. Because I still seem to figure out a way. Because I haven't been to the flea market in a while. Well, I think I go to the flea market. The last time I went was 2019. But I haven't been to the flea market for a long time since the COVID-19 pandemic, which I now remember. Yeah, I haven't been to the flea market for like 3 years now. I mean, the last time I went was 2019, after I got lunch at Round Table Pizza, which I remember. Because that's the thing of what I remember. And I never knew about this. Probably some used video games for only $1 are also at a flea market also. Even if it's PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4 or any retro games you could find there at a flea market, or vintage items you see at a flea market as well. Probably some VHS tapes too there as well. Well, despite though that even though I used to get a lot of VHS tapes at a flea market a while back in, like, I believe it was 2006 or 7, maybe 2007, which I remember at a flea market as well, because I have gotten a lot to remember. Well, by the time VHS, DVDs, and Blu-rays started to take over, people had stopped accepting VHS tapes as well. Particularly, like, if you want to go to places to sell your VHS tapes, and then they said, nope, we cannot accept VHS tapes, though. Excuse me. But you could donate some there to the Goodwill store or flea market. No, Goodwill stores or Salvation Army, especially donating VHS tapes to Salvation Army or Goodwill as well. Because people, instead of going Walmart and all, you just, on VHS tapes, you take the VHS tapes like to Goodwill or Salvation Army and all that stuff as well. Especially if you've ever been a flea market or or Goodwill store. Like, what do you do? Like, finding VHS tapes to flea markets or Salvation Army or Goodwill? That's the thing as well. And also, Facebook marketplaces. If you want to look for those, like, VHS tapes. I'm not sure about Craigslist, though. But Facebook Marketplace is more different than that. And also, swap meets as well. Let's not forget about Swap Meet as well. if I am not mistaken, though. I mean, and all that things as well. I mean, especially if you ever go to, like, figure out this as well. You gotta figure out a way of this as well. And all that stuff as well. I feel so proud that I always wanted to figure out as well. Like, what do you get though? Like, freaking like finding VHS tapes to Facebook marketplaces, flea markets, Salvation Army, or Goodwill. Especially for if you're wanting to buy VHS tapes, though, of what you can notice as well. Well, I haven't been collecting VHS tapes in a long time. Hey, I think I bought one time, but I haven't been getting VHS tapes in a long time. I mean, if you want a VHS tape that bad, why don't you go look on, I would highly recommend if you go on Amazon.com or eBay as well, if you want to get them as well. Especially if you want a VHS tape that bad. Especially if you go look on either Amazon.com or eBay as well. Which I have just, well, VHS tapes are the old obsolete format because they are no longer producing VHS tapes, because VHS tapes are kind of phasing out as well. Because we have our Blu-rays and 4K Ultras though, which I can barely remember for this as well. For that, on the whole reason of that, which, that's just besides the point though. So that's going to be it for my library vlog on a Sunday here for today's library vlog Sunday for today, you guys. Thank you for watching, but before we go, here's what I'm going to say for this one. Well, even though I have been doing my first library vlog video on a Sunday, here's a new video that I finally get to do one. Despite I have been doing, like, library vlogs on Saturdays in the past, though, but this brand new library vlog video on a Sunday definitely takes the cake, though, because this, how it's gotten to me, though, is that it's beginning so true. That's why. Hope subscribe for more content. Links, either links will be in the description down below if you want to check them out at your leisure at this point, though. And also smack the like button if you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And also be sure to click on the subscribe button if you're new to my channel, because I've been getting into the beach vlog as well as flea markets whenever I can go to the flea market as well. And also smack the notifications bell button. Be sure to get notified also as well for more latest updates, just to keep you notified. And that's all I have what I got for today. Well, I haven't been making a video since Saturday. Well, this is the first time I'm doing my library vlog on a Sunday, which is something more different, and not just library vlogs on a Saturday as well, which is a lot more different. But that's just besides the point, from what I can figure out. That's why. This is Rurouni K95 saying thank you for watching my video, and I'm glad you liked it. Hope you enjoy it. Hope to see you soon for the next video. Hope you have a great day. This is Rurouni K95 signing off, and thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you soon for more videos. Take care.